The Nigerian government is asking IPOB not to celebrate May 30th, Biafra Remembrance Day, a day to remember all the fallen heroes, those that fought the Biafra war and lost and sacrificed their lives during the process. Now, Southeasterners are being asked by the federal government, do not stay at home, because IPOB has declared total sit at home May 30th in Southeast Nigeria for Biafra Heroes Memorial Day. The government has come out to say, no sit at home on May 30th. Do not listen to IPOB. Do not stay in your houses. Go about your daily activities. IPOB do not have a say in Nigeria. That is what the Nigerian government is saying. However, another agenda is that IPOB has been accused of stopping young students in Biafra land in the southeast from writing their exams, because I believe during that time there's a WAEC exam. So there's this thing people are talking about, that IPOB is stopping students from going to write the exams. Well, we know that in the history of Nigeria, there's a Biafra war, there's a civil war in Nigeria, and many people lost their lives. And it is the right of these people to remember those that lost their lives, to remember their people. It is their right to remember those that gave up their lives for a struggle. We have June 12th, Abiola, and the federal government acknowledges a day for Abiola. Why can't the people of the southeast, even the governors in the southeast, why can't they have a day to remember and celebrate the heroes and heroines that sacrificed their lives for the agitation of Biafra? Now, we know that the last year's WAEC results came out. Last year's WAEC result came out, and students in the southeast did not miss their papers. So those that are carrying out the agenda of saying that IPOB is stopping people from going to write their exams, these are all lies. Many of those students are allowed to go and write their exams. I remember the last May 30th, when 5 soldiers in quote were killed, I think so, in Abia State. We saw that it was a planned game to tarnish the image of those fighting for Biafra agitation. Imagine, with all the checkpoints in the southeast, some unknown men had to go through those checkpoints and came to the center of the market, a popular place, and they shot Nigerian army. I think they killed 5 of them. All the checkpoints, with all the checkpoints in the southeast, these people were able to maneuver the checkpoints. It tells you a lot about how the Nigerian government wants to kill the agitation of Biafra. Whether it is IPOB, we know that we have many groups that agitate for Biafra in the southeast, not only IPOB. So, because IPOB became so popular through Mazdam Kanu, that's why many people are talking about IPOB. There are other agitating groups in the southeast. So, IPOB, out of respect, the people would want to come out and remember Biafran fallen heroes. Out of respect, they don't even need an IPOB to tell them to sit at home. I tell you that an average Igbo man is hoping for Biafra, an average Igbo man. Forget the politicians that are having positions that are using money. A typical average Igbo man is tired of Nigeria and wants Biafra. So if you are thinking the IPOB will be the ones that will be dictating for them by force, some people willingly will want to stay at home in honor of those that lost their lives during Biafra's agitation, during the civil war, the quest to achieve the Biafra nation. See, we need to understand one thing, that anybody that is fighting for the liberation of their people is always tagged a terrorist. Treason, they are charged with treason in all of Africa. The current structure that is created by the British, the Europeans, the imperialists, if you are fighting against this structure, they will tag you a terrorist, a treasonable person. The West does not want Africa to develop. So any element that rises up from Africa to want to liberate Africa, they will call you a sort of bad name. Look at Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. Look at the media propaganda. You see, the Americans are being exposed. BBC is being exposed. Many people have been exposed of their reportage on Burkina Faso. Mind you, if Burkina Faso is not doing well as a president or is carrying propaganda, now what is the business of France? What is the business of Britain and the United States? Why are they the ones? They are the ones that are pained because of just Burkina Faso. We have some other countries that are not performing. The vigor, the attention they are giving to others, to Burkina Faso, they don't give it to other countries. There are some countries in Cameroon, the president there has spent decades without any visible development. Some other 3 or 4 countries that is being used by the imperialists, by the colonial masters. They don't focus on that one. But when you are coming to liberate your people from this imperialism, that's when they tag you a terrorist. This is the same about Nnamdi Kanu, Ipob, and those that are agitating, Shun and others that are agitating for a restructured Nigeria, a separate state, Oduduwa nation, and all of you. Mind you, the Yorubas are not totally out of a restructured Nigeria. The Yorubas are not totally out. The Yorubas are still having it at the back of their mind. Maybe plan A, plan B, plan C. That they are moving towards an Oduduwa. Everybody will press brake because Tinubu is president. Our brother is the president. Let us suspend the agitation for now. Let us go soft, soft, soft. If you look at Shun, he has been flexing up and down under Tinubu's administration. But the Buhari's administration was so active and wanted Yoruba nation by all means. But now the Baba is there, Tinubu is there. So no more agitation as it were. It is our brother that is there. I told you that each region has their own agenda. And one of the agenda of the Southwest is to use Nigeria and dump Nigeria. Use and dump. So Tinubu is in power, so they are using Nigeria now. If Tinubu leaves power and something else happens, you see the agitation for an Oduduwa nation. If Tinubu leaves power and things does not work in favor of the Southwesterners, that's when you see that they want to start aligning with the Southeast. We understand all those things for restructuring. That's why I said Tinubu has opportunity to restructure Nigeria now. Not be now that he's a president. He's enjoying the power, the everything, gallivanting. Not that now he's the president. He has the opportunity to restructure Nigeria. Now when he leave presidency and Fulani come they play magu-magu, come they speak a language where they don't understand. They will now start using emotional tactics to align with the Southeast. Let us restructure Nigeria. Now the Southeast is supporting Tinubu for restructuring now that he is president. I don't know why the Nigerian government would not want the Southeast to celebrate their fallen heroes. I don't know. I don't know the big problem. The problem in allowing the people to celebrate their fallen heroes. Because these people, without the Biafrans, without the Igbos, you can never tell the history of Nigeria. These people are part of Nigeria's history. So, if the government is saying that you should come out, if the government is saying that you should not come out because of IPOB, well, you have the final say. It is left for the people in Southeast to obey or not. If somebody decides to stay at home, you will not force the person to come out. Of course, see, people do not obey you because you can just say it. If you have something that they admire, people will obey you. Respect is earned. You don't see respect reciprocal. Why would the Southeasterners want to listen to the Nigerian government? Give me one reason of not staying at home to respect their brothers. In fact, Southeast governors are expected to make sure that they lobby the federal government. They try and make sure that in the Southeast there's a day all the governors will cooperate. That's one thing the Southeast governors don't know. They don't just know how to win the hearts of people in the southeast. This May 30th, is dear to those in the southeast. That's why tomorrow, Samanepa will just come up and people will follow him. You'll be wondering, say Igbo people, they follow person foolishly like that. It's because there's something that brings the Igbos together, which is the Biafra agitation. Anything concerning Biafra brings Igbos together from all walks of life. Igbo together. The governor should take advantage, support the people, be on the side of the people, and declare May 30th as a day to remember Biafra fallen heroes. But they will not. They will not. That's why they are always anti-people. They don't get the mandate of the people. Let's listen to what this man says. After Tinubu's presidency, Yoruba nation will be activated. Sunday Igboho is no longer agitating but enjoying life in Germany. No talk for referendum or true federalism because his tribesman is in power. The Southwest governors know how they can mobilize for their people. Look at what happened to Abiola. OPC was created. OPC like Ipob. Was created. And this OPC became a force to defend Yorubas. They were killings upon killings, but they stood their ground. And they were able to achieve a day honorable for Abiola. But the Southeast governors, nobody is going to come together to agree at anything. Nobody is coming together to agree at a particular thing because those in position of power, they are the ones that are making Igbo look useless on the continent. If you look at Boko Haram attack or whatever attack in the Southwest, you see how people will come together. Men and women will come together and make sure that they unite irrespective of party, irrespective of religion. They unite. The Yorubas unite and stand for their own. Look at Sunday Igboho. During Buhari, they almost killed this guy. However, how he got into Benin, we don't know how he got into Benin Republic. Even in that Benin Republic, Yoruba leaders stood for Sunday Igboho. Yorubas in Benin Republic stood for even though Burutai was an ambassador to Benin Republic, they wanted to use Burutai to kidnap Sunday Igboho the way they kidnapped Kanu from Kenya. They wanted to kidnap Sunday Igboho from Benin Republic. But it was resisted because these elders from the Southwest came together and they defended their own son. But here we are in the Southeast. We have a 30th May to celebrate our fallen heroes. Look at leaders left, right, and center. They're just there. They go there. They commit all sorts of atrocities. They play politics. They don't even stand and align with the people. They use foreign outsiders against their own people. Like Ipob Sodima using Fulani against his own people. See, May 30th is May 30th. In history of Nigeria, May 30th is May 30th. A day to remember Nigeria's fallen heroes. That is what we are going to talk. See, if you talk about Pan-African leaders, people that are Pan-Africanists, you talk about Ibrahim Traore, Nelson Mandela, people that fought for African liberation, you also call Nnamdi Kanu's name. See, this system we are practicing, it will not work because the foundation on which it is built will never make it work. You cannot build something on a faulty foundation and expect that thing to work. It's not possible. But some people believe that I can start things anyhow. I can steal elections and use that mandate you stole for better things. It's not possible. Life is give and take. See, there are some things you do today, you get the repercussion tomorrow. Natural. It's not about spiritual thing. If you put your hand in fire, your hands will get burnt. If you steal elections, mandate, you can't use it for better thing. But people want to force themselves. Nigeria is a mere geographical expression, according to Awolowo, who is a nationalist for the Yoruba people. Is a mere geographical expression. That's why Nigeria cannot work. And it seems Igbo leaders are now the enemies of a restructured Nigeria. Igbo leaders are enemies of restructuring. I've seen it. Look at what Benjamin Kanu and others are doing. Indigenization policy. Indigenization policy, you have not been able to find your feet as Igbos, as the Southeasterners. You have not been able to harmonize yourself, call yourself together, talk to yourself, and work with one voice, have an agenda, a unified agenda which all the governors will work with. We are talking about indigenization. If your language go extinct, if your culture, whatever you call your culture, is not replicated, if it goes extinct, you don't have an identity, you become an efulefu. While there are some people, they are very intentional about their culture. The government of the day sponsor their festivals. They sponsor actors and actresses, producers to produce films that will talk about the Yoruba heritage and Yoruba culture using the Yoruba language. But the Southeast governors are opposite of it. There's nothing meaningful they contribute. They believe that if I build government house, if I build road, if I build hospital, I build school, I don't do something. I've told you, a primary six student with money can do all those things. It's not too. There's nothing so special about building government house or building school, hospital. What's special? If I'm a chairman tomorrow, I'm a governor tomorrow, there's money on ground. You call contractors, this road, let's do it. You carry money and give them, they build it. What finish? What special thing? But there are some people that are intentional about upgrading themselves, their skills. Intentional about make sure that they improve every day. The Yorubas are intentional, but our own Southeast governors, they are just there, anywhere but their face, no direction, no nothing. May 30th, all Southeast politicians, they are supposed to come together and make sure they support. They talk about the Biafra fallen heroes. They will stay there. The Nigerian government will be making caricature of the Igbo people, and they just keep quiet. They don't care. We have elders in the Southeast. Things are going on. They will not talk. When they start abusing elders now, they will not come. Respect your elders. What kind of stupid respect is that? The languages are going. Our young people are not embracing the culture as it's supposed. Go on the street, normal street, in other places. A Yoruba man wears Yoruba attire on like every day, an average day. An Hausa man wears his Hausa attire on average day. But it's very hard for you to see an Igbo man to wear his attire like normally. Just wear it on a normal day. Your Ishiago, you wear it on a normal day. When I go on the streets, Hausas will just normal. You see Hausas representing without anything. But even an Igbo man wear his stuff, it looks somehow. Because we have people, so-called elders, so-called traditional rulers, that have not been able to, they are not visionary to know that there are a lot of things they can do to be able to improve adherence to heritage and structure of the Igbo people, the history of the Igbo people. May 30th now, they are rubbishing it before our eyes. The Nigerian government is rubbishing it before our eyes. And we are doing as if we don't know what is going on. We are just quiet, nothing, nobody's doing, nobody's saying anything. Nobody. When they start abusing these guys, they will start saying all sort of rubbish. Rubbish. See, nothing can stop the agitation because it is an ideology. Nothing can stop the agitation. I repeat, because it is an ideology. Nothing can stop Yoruba Nation agitation because it is an ideology. Number two, Biafra is older than Nigeria. And number two, Yoruba Nation is older than Nigeria. The nationalities in Nigeria are older than Nigeria. Nigeria is a creation of the British, of the imperialists, of the company, of a company, Nigeria company. Nigeria is just a business venture that people are using to benefit. When you want to revert to the old position, the people that are using that business venture, using Nigeria to make gain, will start calling you terrorists. Start saying you are treason. Find a way to decimate you and kill you. That's just what is happening. And before our eyes, we have our leaders complicit of that. Whether you don't like Ipob, whether you don't like Masobo, whether you don't like my face as an Igbo person, or if I'm dressed like an Igbo person, it does not stop. People will always remember in the next 1,000 years, 1,000 million years, people will also always remember their people that died during the Biafra civil war. However, I'm calling on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I'm repeating this again. I'm calling on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to release Nnamdi Kanu before May 30th. Release Nnamdi Kanu before 30th. Release Nnamdi. You are laughing. You are laughing. There's some updates I got of recent, but I will not say anything. I'll just be looking. It is good for the Nigerian government to release Nnamdi Kanu. It is good for the economy, for the stability of Nigeria, for Nnamdi Kanu to be released and Igbos be compensated and allow Igbos celebrate May 30th without any interference. Because as I see it, people not even listen to the government. Do people have hope or trust in the government? Especially in that southeast government care. Especially in Nigeria, the federal government. The state government might overlook. Some state governors might overlook. And people just stay at home that day. Then a federal government is giving a directive. Don't listen to Ipob, stay at home. So do you think the people will listen to you? If Tinubu is going to start on a good note from southeast Nigeria, release Nnamdi Kanu. Now when you release Nnamdi Kanu, you go know whether the Igbo man will not support you. And if the Igbo man give you their support, because there's no support Igbo man has for anybody in the north. There's no support. They only have the person they can support in the south. Nobody can get that support anymore. They have been giving other people in northern Nigeria in those years. The only support that the Igbo man can give is to a southerner. And how will Tinubu be able to win the hearts of? Well, he went to Anambra State. Instead of Soludo, Professor Soludo, ask him the roadblock, standard railway, gas pipeline connected throughout the southeastern states. He's busy accusing Obi, talking about Obi, talking like a small Pekin, backbiting. There are critical issues, you are backbiting. That's why I say the kind of leaders we have as Igbos these days, my brother, I don't think that these people are Igbos at all. There must be something wrong with Igbo leaders. In quote, those that call themselves Igbo leaders. There must be something fundamentally wrong with them. May God help Nigerians.